All right, 100K track. How's it going?
What's the word, Thunderbird? What's good with you?
Hey, man. Grinding, man, like you, man. I see you. You stay moving. You stay grinding.
Yes, man, you know that. Gotta be on 100K for sure, 100 miles per hour.
Well, that's what it is, man. Well, I'd like to kind of just, get into your whole story and get to know you and everything. This is our first time. So a lot of people, a lot of my audience might not know, I'm saying, exactly who you are and what you do. So can you kind of tell them, maybe a little bit about how you grew up and how you got into the music business?
Right. Yeah, so I'm from Broward County, Florida, you know what I'm saying? Raised, but I was born in Haiti, the country. I came here when I was like 5 years old. So, from just childhood, from my childhood, it's just pretty much the, regular American story. You know what I'm saying? Single parent house, you know what I'm saying? No dad, you know what I'm saying, in jail, just trying to figure it out. Played sports in high school and stuff like that. And I got into music actually at 16 in high school. I was just, in a group doing music, rapping and stuff like that. It was I was on the artist side first, before I got into the management. But you know what I'm saying, just involved in music period from just high school all the way to like 24. Then I stopped actually rapping and started doing like the behind the scenes, did the clothing line, Snappy Gang Apparel with Kodak. Got you know, I I was in the Snappy Gang umbrella doing management for his brother John Wicks and his homeboy at that time, 1804 Jack Boy. So and from there it just went to just signing, more artists like Melly, Hot Boy, Vaughn, and so and so.
Well, let's take it back a little bit. What was it like for you, like in high school and growing up? Like what kind of student were you?
Like the class clown, just not even trying to be intentionally, just happened to be that. Just certain things I would say or certain, what I'm saying, way I would move. Just people find funny, and then I'd get in trouble. I had to go to the after school programs and stuff like that. But other than that, though, I tried my best in the class and stuff like that. Always, wanted to graduate. I wasn't on no like, oh, I'm not trying to graduate. Hell no, I was trying to graduate. And then I started playing sports towards like freshman year. So then I got a little bit more focus on school because I had to keep a GPA to play sports. So sports was like the reason why I actually fully graduated, because I had to have a certain GPA to even play. You know.
Now you were rapping and everything. Going to the studio takes money. Were you
Mhm.
working? How are you kind of, moving around?
Um, Honest truth, I was doing like a little bit of everything. I was working. Then I used to go like steal sports equipments and stuff like that from like Sports Authority and like, what I'm saying, sports like places, stores that sell like stuff like Under Armour gloves. So I was actually just hustling that to the football team, stuff like that, making money on the side.
And you graduate.
Yeah, I graduated for sure. I graduated. Definitely
And
graduated.
what'd you do after school?
Nothing, just music.
That's it.
Yeah,
Straight to the
yeah.
studio?
Because by the time I graduated at 18, I actually like got hot in my city as a rapper. So I had a hot song. I had a song called "Ride That Dick" for the girls, and they was just going crazy for it. Like I used to get booked for shows and parties and stuff like that, Sweet 16s, prom. So right after high school, I was fortunate enough to just make money on, through music and stuff like that. I had I tried different things in between when stuff slowed down, like hustling and stuff like that. Then tried a little bit of the robbing. Really tried everything. Just tried to get it working, all the above. But mostly, I was just making an income off music. That was always the main income.
Okay. And at some point you decide to make the transition from an artist to a manager to more behind the scenes.
Right.
How was that transition for you?
From at that time, it wasn't hard because stuff had died down a little bit. Because from 18 to like 22, 23, I was kind of, that's when everything was going good. And then from there it was like 23 to 24, it slowed down. So I was already like transitioning into like throwing parties and doing different things just to bring revenue and stuff like that. But the transition wasn't that hard because I ended up linking with Kodak Black, and he was popping at that time. He was getting up there. I think he was 16, turning 17. He just dropped Project Baby. He was going into Heart of the Projects. That whole run with Institution and everything. So he was buzzing up. So I just made that decision to just get behind the scene. I decided to do the merchandise with him, the Sniper Gang apparel, just to get some money, just to, stay around a positive movement. And that transition just led to doing more, like management under the Sniper Gang umbrella, just using all my resources from an artist and just from what I used to do, just try to apply it to his structure.
How did you meet Kodak?
I met Kodak. Me and Kodak from the same city. Like we're from Broward County. You know what I'm saying? He's from Pompano. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, so it's not too far. Not far from each other. So we've been around each other because when I was like performing at clubs, he used to perform at the clubs too. You feel me? Especially with like certain bookings, we both was out there from Pompano and Fort Lauderdale, and then from there we just mutually just, just like started to know each other. Then I got a feature from him for like $500, and then that feature turned into me booking him for 2 shows out of town and in town, performing with him. And it just kept it going and stuff like that. And then it just grew into, more into a genuine relationship, and we added some business to it.
What were those early times like with Kodak? Because, Kodak has a pretty wild reputation. You see him on camera, and, he looks like he has a lot of fun when he's out.
Yeah. Shit, it was always a good time. You know what I'm saying? Definitely had to be on point. We always moved smart. You always had security. You always had a lot of people that's there to care for him. You know what I'm saying? I was like always move like with his brothers and like everybody else. So, you know what I'm saying? I was never too far from like the main event and stuff like that. Because, whenever I move, I would literally already be at his house. So I just go straight when they go, type stuff like that.
Is there any wild tour stories or anything that you remember that you could talk about?
It was more shows at that time. He wasn't doing 2 tours because it was early. He was doing more shows, like actual bookings and stuff like that. But shit, it's always some shit going on for sure. I can't recall it on top of my head, but definitely there's some good moments. It was nothing too wild. It was nothing too crazy, but it was just a good time. It's just always a good time.
Okay. So you're managing Kodak.
No, I was never managing Kodak.
Oh, you didn't manage Kodak?
No, I didn't manage Kodak. Me and Kodak had the clothing line together, Sniper Gang Apparel. And then I managed under his Sniper Gang brand, his artists, like his brother John Wicks, his friend, his Jack Boy, 1804 Jack Boy. You know what I'm saying? But I never personally managed Kodak. He already had like a manager, and he was signed to Atlantic. So I was just focused on his personal brand, Sniper Gang, not per se him, the artist.
Okay. You're working with his clothing line. You're managing Jack Boy. And how is all that going? How long do you stay there?
It was like a good 2 years. Good 2 years, probably a little bit more, but definitely a good 2 years. Cause it was kind of short, because that's when like he caught a charge, Jack Boy caught a charge. A lot of like everybody was just, what I'm saying, was going to jail. Just stuff was just going on. It was just a lot of situations. You feel me?
So is this when Kodak was in jail for like a couple years or a year or so?
Yeah.
Right. Before Trump pardoned him?
It was before Trump pardoned him, but it was like, yeah, he did like a year or two. He did like a year or two. Yeah.
And at this point, there's no artist there. There's nothing to do. Is that when you kind of decide to do your own thing?
Right. Yep. it was that's when I decided to move to Orlando, and I had some other stuff going on with like jewelry. I got like a gold teeth company. Feel me? I had like a place where you do like t-shirts and things like that. I had different businesses going, so I just wanted to change this. I just wanted to change the scenery and stuff like that, you know. So I went to Orlando. That's when I found Melly, YNW Melly, stuff like that, and we locked in.
How'd you guys meet?
Melly,
Yep.
I met him really. He was locked up when I met him. He was already like in jail. So I had like an artist I was working with from Orlando that jumped on one of Melly's songs called Legendary. And you know, he told me that was his record. Like I got paid for the studio time, everything. He cut the record, then he dropped it. I dropped it, and then I put John Wicks on the record, which was Kodak Brother. So you know, with that, with him being on the record, that made it a little bit more bigger. And Sam posted on his page on his Instagram, and then Melly like camp and fans that he had at that time was just like DMing me like, yo, this is YNW, you know, it wasn't YNW Melly at that time. This is Melly's song. This Melly's song. This you know what I'm saying? Like, give him his credit, this and that. So his mom had DM John Wick's page, and I was on the Instagram, and I had told her I ain't know. Someone told me something different. So I changed the title, put him as a credit, and then from there, you know what I'm saying, he had his mom connected us, and I ended up going to see him in jail for like a whole year, every weekend, Saturday and Sunday in Orlando. He was locked up in Orlando at that time. So I started visiting him for a year straight, and then we just got real close. And when he came home, you know, we just handled the business, did the management, and went crazy.
Okay. He gets out of jail, and you guys, you know, start working. Everything is moving. You know, at what point does he start blowing up? Like when you're like, damn, man, this shit is getting wild. Like,
Right.
you know.
After he dropped the Blue Balenciaga record. So it wasn't like, see, Melly's situation was a little different, right? Because while he was locked up for that year, me and Drew filmed it. We was already like doing, you know, videos for his record without him in it, putting his family in it, like making, like, you know, putting his little brother YNWB Slime in it, just making it, just doing visuals, because he didn't really have too much videos. He was very early. He had the Murder on My Mind song that had a couple 100,000. So he had a little fan base in Gifford and certain parts of Orlando. So when we was doing the videos and stuff, he was catching a buzz. So by the time he came home, then, you know, the whole Sniper Gang brand got behind it. John Wicks was fucking with it. So that made it bigger in Broward. So it was kind of elevating. So by the time he came home, he did Melly the Menace. And then we did one more song. When he dropped Virtual, he was already like going crazy. Like he had one of those records that took off early. So he was moving around, touching all the other artists, you know what I'm saying? T Grizzly, Lil Durk, like really, because at that time they wasn't super big like they is now, but you know, they were still big artists. Like he was already like in touch with them. Thug was reaching out. So I feel like when Virtual Blue Balenciaga dropped, that's when he took off for sure. Like I could see it like going crazy. Shows was like 7,000 a show. You know what I'm saying? We was doing shows through Florida like crazy. Starting to get a little shows out of state. So it started picking up.
Okay, and how long are you managing him?
Melly,
Yeah.
from when I met him till he got out till he blew up, like till he looked like he was going up. It was about because I did a year with him in jail. Then we pushed the music for a year. About 2 years, like 2.5.
And are you managing any other artists at this time?
Not artists, but I did sign, like Drew filmed it, the director, and I had a producer. I still got him. I had got the producer Smoke Exclusive that did the beat for Murder My Mind and 772 Love, some of the other songs. So I signed all three of them around the same time. So one artist, but you know, the director and then the producer as well.
You know, he's taking off. You know,
Right.
he's getting bigger, man. You know, I know he does a song with Kanye. You know, this dude is like heading for like stardom, like super
Right.
stardom. Like he's doing hundreds of millions of views at this time. And then all of a sudden, you know, I look and I'm looking, and he's arrested for murder.
Right. He has to
You
turn
know,
himself in.
it turns himself in, man. How did you feel when you first got that news?
Shock and and just confused on what's going on, because it's not like that occurred with people he had problems with, and someone that you could see that potentially happened because of whatever feud or whatever situation that could have been occurring at that time. It was completely left field because it was his two best friends. So more confused and more shocked than anything, and just like I'm saying, and not understanding what's going on.
It was yeah, surprising. You don't really never expect that, from an artist who's got so much going for him.
Right. I mean, he's innocent to proven guilty for sure. So, I'm not like 100%. I don't feel like, I feel like, that's his story, and that's his, what I'm saying? Like, that's what he's going through right now. But honestly, I feel like it shouldn't even happen that way, because I don't think there's enough, what I'm saying? Personally, I don't think there's enough evidence to even detain someone like that with those speculations and stuff like that. You feel me? So,
Well, let's hope so.
right.
Definitely think everybody would like to see him out, and making more music. I mean, that would definitely be crazy, man.
Facts.
When is the trial starting, or is
It's,
it already
it
started?
started. It started already. They're picking the juries, stuff like that, and then what I'm saying, from there, once all the juries pick, since it's a death penalty case, it takes a little bit more time to pick the jury. What I'm saying, there's a lot more rules, a lot more that go behind the scenes with picking the jury, and then once that is done, then it's on for the defense and to do what they do.
Do you know why it's a death penalty case? No,
I wouldn't know. No,
you wouldn't know.
I don't know who determines a death penalty case or a regular case.
He came out with that song, "Murder on My Mind," and everybody thought it was connected to this situation.
Right.
What was your thoughts on that when everybody started bringing up this song and what I'm saying, trying to connect it to this situation?
Nah, I ain't think of it no way, because that song was written a long time ago, way before everybody even knew who Melly was. Melly wrote that song like 3 years, what I'm saying, before the world even knew who he was. So that don't even make sense. And the two gentlemen, YNW Sack and YNW Juvie, they're actually in the music video. We was on set the whole day. It was. I never got. The good thing about it is I personally know Melly, and no Sack, no Juvie, and we moved around together. I personally I know there was never tension where I could feel like he could be a suspect to murdering or allegedly murdering his two friends. I don't see it at all from just hanging around him for the amount of time that we hanged around. So I ain't taking it all. I ain't taking no way at all. I just looked at it as people making speculations and things like that.
You had mentioned that if he gets convicted, that it would really mess up your trust issues.
Right. I mean, for sure. I think it would mess up anybody or a lot of people's trust issues well, I guess I'll take that back. If you able to see what I seen, like the environment and how they was, their connection, and that verdict says anything less than not guilty, then yeah, it would mess up my trust issues. Like, it will definitely give me some type of PTSD when it comes to people, because I personally never seen it coming. The way their relationship was, the way that what I'm saying, they supported each other and genuinely loved each other. So, which I'm 100% sure the verdict is gonna be what it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Because he's innocent. So,
if the unfortunate thing does happen and he is convicted, do you guys have a plan of what you guys are gonna do?
of course. I mean, it's always it's always an appeal for sure. For sure, you got to go for an appeal. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the death penalty being on the table. Going for that. You know what I'm saying? Try to get that completely gone or revisited. So it's more than one option on what would be, what would happen, So it's from the music side, content still need to come out, his family wise, like it's just a lot, but either way, there's always a solution to every problem. You just gotta find it and figure it out. You just gotta pray on it and stuff like that.
How's he doing in there? How's he holding up?
He's doing good. He's just, mentally getting ready for it. Stuff like, just getting all his business in order. Making sure his family, is good. Just making sure him and his counsel is on the same page. And he's excited. He's ready to come home and drop music and do what he needs, do what he's best at, which is being an entertainer, being a star.
He's ready to get it going.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? That's,
He got his albums ready. He got his singles ready. He's ready. Like, what I'm saying? He's overly prepared from image to videos. He wasn't just in there for 4 years just wasting time. He was preparing, getting his faith right, getting his business right, making sure everything's aligned. Because at the end of the day, minor setback for a major comeback. You know what I'm saying? The biggest comeback.
Well, hopefully it works out for him, man. You know,
for sure.
Dude was, man, he had a crazy, crazy future, man.
Yeah.
So you're managing, Melly, and do you start to pick up other artists at that time, or you just Melly's your only focus?
At that time, nah, it was really just Melly, and then once Melly got locked up, you know what I'm saying, I started pushing YNWB Slime. No, actually, I take it back. It wasn't just Melly. I had an artist named BTR Chris. I had a couple more artists, I believe I was still working with Project Youngin at that time. There was a couple other artists, like it's not ringing in my head all the way, but I definitely picked up a couple artists because right in between that transition, that's when I had like 30 Deep Grimy, NWNC Murder, I signed Slatt Zai. So I had a couple more artists right before he went to jail. Yeah, it was him and a couple more.
30 Deep Grimy, he's locked up too, right?
30, yeah, I think he just got sentenced to 7 years, right, in St. Louis. He had he had a previous charges and stuff. I think it was violation. I think he violated, and then they probably put like a pistol. I think he had a pistol charge or something like that.
And Slatt Zai, he's locked up, right? What's he locked up for? Is he? I'm trying to remember because I think I remember his.
Oh, the YouTube thing. I think they allegedly robbed somebody on YouTube. It was a famous YouTuber that came to the city. I think was playing with little kid. Like I don't remember the story, but some YouTuber I believe who played with some little kids, I guess, came for an interview and they got I don't know, just stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunate situations.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And he's still and he's not convicted of any of. I don't think he's convicted. I know 30 Deep got sentenced, and he was charged. I don't think Zai went to trial yet for that. I think he's still fighting that. I think he's still fighting that case.
Okay. All right. So and you've been working with these guys for a few years, for a while.
With who?
30 Deep, Grimy, and
everybody's
Slatt.
about the same. Everybody's about like 3 years. About 3 years. Really 2 going on 3. Some less than some less than the others. But I got more artists. I'm probably in between Melly getting locked up to now. I probably don't work with over 20 something artists. So in my roster is a little bit around like 15 or more, if not a little bit less than 15. So there's a lot of artists I work with, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a production company, I'm a management company, so I got a big staff, so I work with a lot of artists.
It's got to be hard to manage that many artists. Like I kind of want to ask you, like, what's your secret? Because you know what I'm saying. Just even me doing interviews and having to work with a lot of different people, it can be difficult. You know what I'm saying, working with artists and everything.
Hmm.
You know.
It's really just having a great team and a support system. Like I said, you know, what I'm saying, in between, just like finding new people. I got a real good team. Like right now, I employ what 15 staff members internally for myself, and then I work with probably an additional 10 plus if I'm distributing you with whatever company I distribute you with, or if I take you to a major and bring you on a partnership on the label side. So I'm able to I'm able to utilize 15 people that just work on my day-to-day business. So think about it. Each artist is paired with 2, 3 individuals. So, you know, I got a good hand on it, on just how to like do it. You feel me? Because I've been doing it for so long. It's just putting money back into the business and expanding and not just being stagnant at one place. If I was just one guy, one cell phone trying to do all that, then it would have been probably ridiculous. But because I got a staff and an actual system, I'm able to put my influence and have other people do some other, you know, leg work and things like that. You know.
Okay, so you don't manage all these guys yourself. Some of these guys are managed by some of the people that work for you.
Well, no, it's we're talking about management. We're talking about on the record label side. So, you know, a lot of people know me as a manager because that's what blew me up. You know, that's what I blew up as Melly manager, King Von manager. It just sound easier. It just roll off the tongue. But I'm actually a record label. I was an independent record label for the last 3 years, and all these guys is signed to me. Other than King Von and YNW Melly, which was strictly management, and 1804 Jack Boy, because at that time I was very early in my career. Every other artist is actually signed on a record label side, and I would partner up with whatever label of my choosing, or whatever partners that I decide makes sense at that time. If it's Atlantic 300, if it's Universal, if it's Interscope, if it's Create Music, if it's Empire. I got artists in different buildings and stuff like that at a partnership. But everybody's managed through my management company though, 100%.
And how many new artists are you working on right now?
I got a couple. I'm working on my artist from New York, from Brooklyn, Breezy Lynn. She got that song called Bad Bitches. She just dropped the remix with Lola Brooke and Cali. I got Lil 50 with me and Lil TJ. He hard, he going crazy. That Green Heart doing numbers right now. You did like 2 million in less than a month, independent. And I got my new artist from Florida, Wham Spin the Ben. He used to, you know what I'm saying, he used to move around with Kodak before with the Sniper Gang brand, the KTB brand with Wiz the Wizard and stuff like that. So he's with me as well. And I still got I got the ones from last year that the world was introduced to, like FCG, Rico Cartel, Femi, Mono Dude, DQ, you know what I'm saying, Boss Top, just a couple artists.
Boss Top, man. How's Boss Top doing?
Boss Top doing good, you know what I'm saying? He's locked up right now, so just waiting on the bond.
Okay. Has he got a lot of time left, or is he, in there just for a quick minute?
He didn't get charged yet. He's locked up. You just got to get bond. You know, he had other situations, so they just got to wait to get a bond motion. To get a motion for bond.
Well, yeah. Free Boss Top, man.
For sure, free Boss Top. You know what I'm saying? Free the guys.
We did a dope interview a little longer than a year ago, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. Dope interview, man. Classic.
Classic
facts. Interview, man. Classic O Block, OG, you know what I'm saying? Old school. It was dope, man.
Facts. Yeah, I had sent them to LA to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You start managing Von.
Right.
How did all that come together? How'd you guys meet, and how'd everything come together for you guys?
Before I started managing Von, I was actually we were just moving around together from, with Melly being out. being on the O Block, just chilling, really just having, just building and just, having a genuine relationship. So that was about a good year before I started actually physically managing him.
So Melly and Vaughn were tight, and Melly used to go to O Block, and you guys would all go there and hang out?
Melly, Vaughn, me, Bortland, we always tight, you know what I'm saying? We just used to hang around. Melly and Dirk, linked up on some music stuff. And then from there, our count, their count, just got real tight. Zoo, really just the guys, like, them boys really like family type stuff like that. Cause, we was moving around. Like, we would be on the block, just regular, like, in Chicago, chilling, just on O Block, just in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, we did that repeatedly and stuff like that. So we actually had a bond before we physically got into the business side together.
Okay, and you start managing him, and King Von starts to take off.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fast. I mean, I believe he dropped his first song with Zoo, and that blew up. Did over 1 million views, and then he dropped his second song with Mimo, that blew up. And he just kind of just. Really just took off really fast, man. What were you thinking, and what was your involvement in everything when everything was going down?
Just being consistent, getting more visuals, you know what I'm saying, setting up tours, putting the face to the music, and just really just being that guy, just trying to find like ways to just keep it going and keep amplifying it, from features to just really just traveling and just different sceneries, just trying to like grow it past the Chicago scene.
Grow it past the drill scene.
Right. Well,
to a bigger
because drill kind of was taking off past Chicago. So I would say just try to take it from regions to region, you know what I'm saying? Touch each market and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, there's been a big documentary about Vaughn that came out. And I seen you hopped on a live with Trap Lord Ross.
You're right. We did an interview together.
Yeah. How'd you feel when you before you even seen it, how'd you feel when you seen the title, Rap's First Serial Killer?
I mean, at this point of my career, I've seen a lot of titles. I see a lot of clickbait. I see a lot of people with opinions. So I'm not really shocked or taken back by it. I was interested to see what the conversation was and what the video was about. I was on the road. I actually watched it like 3-4 days or later, late than everybody else, because I was just moving around. I didn't pay attention to it like that, because I see a lot of Vaughn stuff. I see a lot of Melly stuff. I see a lot of stuff on me as well. So, what I'm saying, I don't really give my energy to a lot of those content. But after I watched it, the first thing I was like, yo, like, this was like very put together. This seemed like it took time. Like, who is this guy, first of all? I was familiar with some content, but I didn't really put the face together. But when I started looking into like the channel, I'm like, okay, it was like a journalist, just somebody, with opinion, and that's what it is. He's someone with an opinion, with a platform. And you know what I'm saying? I don't find it to be true. Like, I don't see Vaughn as a rap serial killer. I see Vaughn as a rap phenomenon, you know what I'm saying? Like a rap, like a GOAT, like that he is a musical genius. So I wouldn't categorize him as an animal or as as something as inhuman as a serial killer. I'd rather put him in that stature as a, legendary storytelling artist, somebody that made a lot of impact fast in the culture, changed a lot of narratives, and supported his neighborhood, his family. So I don't take it no way.
Were you around when he was first arrested with Dirk?
Yeah.
Well, what was that like?
You mean like after he got the bond?
Yeah.
After he got the bond, we just really just in the house. We did a lot of studio sessions in the house, stuff like that. And I would situate travel for him and, connect with his lawyer and then connect with the movement, you know, with the PO and stuff like that. And then we'll just still handle business. It just had to be more detailed and just more communication. It didn't really stop a lot and stuff like. I feel like they actually put him in a good space to, if he didn't have things going on, rather than being out, he would have to be home. So he took that time and really just recorded and wrote a lot of music and stuff like that. You feel me?
So at this point, Vaughn is your main artist that you're managing, I take it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure.
So you're probably around Vaughn a lot at this point.
Right.
You know, and handling his day-to-day bookings, you know, studio sessions. Mm-hmm. What do you think was like, you know, some of the good times that you guys had hanging out?
Just at the house, playing video games, you know what I'm saying? Chilling, talking. And then, you know, when we be traveling and stuff like that, the shows, the actual shows, seeing the crowd reactions, seeing him perform, feel me? And then really just playing Madden or 2K on the bus, talking shit, you know what I'm saying, betting, you know, overall just having a good time.
Unfortunately, you know, we kind of, you know, we all know what happened, you know, the night that he passed away, man. You know, I think you've kind of spoke on it a little bit before. You know, can you kind of take me through that night from your perspective of what happened and, you know, what you went through?
You know, that was still about like two years ago. So it was just a horrible night. Not per se like the whole night, because it was a lot of fun. You know, we did have a good time at the hotel. We were celebrating the album, going #1 on Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? It was Boss Stop birthday. He had some of the guys from Chicago there. You feel me? It was definitely a good vibe. You know, we went to different spots, like we went to a hookah lounge, he went to different spots in between the show. But after the show, when we went to the after hour spot, you know, from there, everything just kind of went downhill. You know what happened from
I
the
guess
situation.
You kind of denied the initial offering for one of the shows for one of the appearances.
Well, at that time, Vaughn wanted to go up on prices. Cause we like I said, we just went #1 on Apple Music, took it to the O's going crazy. So man, we charging $30,000, $40,000. I'm not gonna lie. We charging 30, 40. And you know, we got the booking, cause the party that he got, the booking for, you know, it was just like a hosting. They ain't really, it was last minute. They called like literally I think it was like the same week. So the price that was offering was low. You know, I'm like, nah, I turned it down. But Vaughn had hit me up, was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Boss Stop birthday. You know, I want to go. I want to celebrate. I'm in the A anyways, stuff like that. It's cool. I don't got to travel. I already got outfits. So, you know, we decided to do it. But that day, the situation didn't go left at the event. The event went great. It was good. Played the music. He performed. Had a good time. It's the after hour spot. That's when everything happened. That spot wasn't planned at all. Wasn't a booking. Was nothing. Like, I didn't even know that spot was in our radar for the night. I don't think a lot of people didn't, because we went to so many other spots before that. So
how long were you guys there before everything kind of went sideways?
Like maybe a little bit under an hour, 30 to 40 minutes, just in the parking lot chilling.
And you ended up getting shot that night yourself?
Yep. Me and a couple other people, you know what I'm saying? Me and a couple other people got shot. And not just really people getting shot, but people got ran over in cars. Shit was bad, man. It was damn near a mass shooting if you think about it, with the panic, with people driving, getting ran over, you know, different people shooting, you don't know what's going on. So it was kind of that moment. It was kind of like a mass shooting type of moment. It's like it wasn't a regular scenario where you have like time to just figure shit out. Shit was just left.
What did you think when you first got shot?
Where did I get shot? First shot. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying that's the first thought. Like, yo, damn, I'm shot. Where did I get shot? Because, you know, I ain't know. But in between me just, you know what I'm saying, looking for a place to just find cover and just, you know, shield myself, then I start realizing the blood coming down, on my legs and stuff like that. That's when I realized, okay, I got shot in my leg. I still didn't know where I got shot in my leg though, but I know I got shot from just like, it was by like a little bit right by my knee. So, and then from there, my shit just went numb. I damn near couldn't walk on the legs and shit.
And I take you go to the hospital?
Yeah. My security and stuff like that, there was an Uber, and it was a whole bunch of people in there, you know what I'm saying? They ended up finding me. I jumped in there, they took me to the hospital, and then they acted fast and stuff like that.
How long were you in the hospital? Just
a day.
Pass you up a day?
Just a day, yeah. I got discharged the same day.
At what point did you find out Vaughn passed away?
9 in the morning? Like 8, 9 in the morning? Yeah.
Man, did you think he was gonna make it? From what you were hearing?
When I found out, he was dead. Like, I didn't know he got shot. I didn't know all that was, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was in the hospital. So I got shot. I went to the hospital. I'm fucked up. I'm on pain and shit like that too. So, 8:30, 9 a.m. I get a call from his sister, and she told me. But she called to check. She checked up on me and stuff like that, and then she told me. Like people was calling me too, just checking up on me. So my phone was ringing for myself and for Vaughn. You get what I'm saying? Because people didn't know if I was hurt, what was going on. So because they heard I got shot as well. Close. Someone tell somebody something. Like it spread real fast.
Yeah, sheesh. You get out of the hospital, and where do you go? You go home just to try to get some rest?
Well, I stay in, Florida. So I had my family had flew and stuff like that to Atlanta, and then I flew back. But before I flew, I met with his mom, his lawyer, family, friends at his house in Atlanta, and then I flew to Florida, to Broward. Or Miami at that time. I stayed in Miami at that time.
Man, I can't imagine, man. I bet that was rough. Had to meet his mom. Had to see his mom the day after.
Right, and I'm dealing with that and dealing with getting shot for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with hearing Louis is in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for his life. Hearing Slutty lost his life, bro. It was a lot, man. It was a lot of shit going on.
Did you make a full recovery with your leg?
Do you ever make a full recovery? I don't know. I don't know if it's ever a full recovery, but I'm good. Like, I could walk, run, I could do everything, somebody else could do, but I still get a little pain and stuff like that. I still get tension and stuff, because it's still a nerve, you feel me? So I don't know if you ever fully get recovered, but I'm not in pain, though. I could do everything, though, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Man, okay, Vaughn dies, man, and at some point you got to get back to work.
Right.
How do you kind of pick things up, and you're number one artist. I mean, business is always second to family and life and everything, but you do got to at some point you do got to go back to work, man. So what's kind of your process of kind of trying to put things together?
I took some time to I was definitely grieving, and I actually didn't want to do management and business. I wanted to just take a break from the music business, from just getting shot to just on medication and losing Vaughn, and it was a lot going on. So it was a little bit of time where I was just like chilling, man. I didn't even want to do it no more. And then, I picked it back up. You know what I'm saying? Started therapy for my leg, just started understanding the bigger picture, and just try to, just focus and just, have tunnel vision on how to get stuff back for Vaughn, how to get right for Vaughn on the music side, business wise. Feel me? Just personally, just making sure everybody good, that needs to be good on that side. So I had a different incentive, I had a different motive, because I wanted to make sure his legacy, his family and stuff like that, it didn't just deter and everything crashed because of the situation.
Back in the 90s, man, when Biggie got killed And then a few years later, Shine had an incident where he was convicted of shooting somebody, and he did 10 years. You know, I remember Puffy moving away from street artists because he kind of wanted to get away from that energy, because, you know, he just kept going through these bad situations, you know, while he was signing street artists, man. You know, has it deterred you from signing more, you know, hood dudes, you know, or are you, you know, you still signing hood dudes, or are you trying to move more away to, like, you know, more different type of hip hop?
I mean, I feel like I don't really sign street artists or hood dudes. I feel like I sign artists. Like Melly is diverse and, you know what I'm saying, very, very special. He could do any type of music, love song, love ballads. Vaughn is storytelling, you know, he's in the streets, like being very, you know, just, you know, detailed and then bringing you into that world. Hot Boy do a lot of pain music too, make you feel, you know what I'm saying, his struggle. So I don't really like judge my artists based on them coming from the environment that I come from, because it's like, yo, it's the same place, like, you know, poverty, hardship, working, you know what I'm saying, opportunities there as well. But there's a lot of things that comes with just coming from where we come from, the, you know, the streets, the ghetto, the slums, the projects, the trenches, whatever you want to call it. So I won't ever stop working with somebody because they're from that environment. I'm from that environment. I made it from that environment. So no, but I do try to my best now to try to do more things to keep them, you know what I'm saying, safe, to keep them in a better place. Maybe like move you out your place, your neighborhood, or make sure you always with a, you know, more security, or make sure I'm just having more conversations about, you know, about your, you know, personal, your mental health, about situations, maybe your finance, just finding ways to just motivate them to just stay on the right path and just really believe in this entertainment game and this music, because something's gonna happen if you put in that work. You know, you're gonna reach success. So I don't stay away from anyone, you know, because where you from. I don't feel like that's fair.
Man, well, man, that's what's up, man. You know, I know it's a lot of work. You know, managing rappers, man. You know, what's the toughest thing about managing a rapper?
Um, I think the toughest thing about management period is just when the communication is not, when I guess when the communication is not the same, like when it changes, like when an artist get to a certain place or certain level or certain mentality where they just, you know, different from the plan or from what you know what I'm saying, what you see could make things better or bigger. And, you know, and you just sometimes got to realize people is human, and at different times and different space in their life, they may have questions, or they may have, you know what I'm saying, they might just have different input. So just finding a way to have better communication where like each camp understands the benefit of this camp, and on just trusting, and, you know what I'm saying, like the judgment of the team, or the team trusting the artist, just getting to that level where it's smooth.
And before we get out of here, one last question, man. You know, what's your favorite memory managing somebody?
All right, I got like, I think I got like three, right? So the first one, for sure, overall, like, you know, on top of all of them, is when me and Melly was in New York at SOBs, and he was performing on his first date on his tour, and a female threw they panties, they you know what I'm saying, drawers on stage, and this man picked it up, and he, you know what I'm saying, he got on the mic and he said, if these, you know what I'm saying, if these stink or don't smell good, then I'm stopping the show. And he take it and he smell it, and he just get on the mic and say, it smell good. And he just stop performing again. Yo, everybody went crazy. I ain't gonna lie, but that was one of the most funniest moments ever. Like that tops everything, you know. And then, matter of fact, I think Fully, you was there on that stage, right? Yeah. That was funny, though. And the second one would be with me and Vaughn when we was in I forgot what city it was, and a girl, like, he was sweating performing, and a female like touched his chest with her arm, and then licked her fingers like she was just eating chicken or some delicious meal or something, and just with no mercy, like just that was, yo, we just looked at each other like, damn, what, they different up here. I think it was Philly. I don't know where. No, I don't know. I don't want to put nobody's city out there like that. I forgot where it was. But that girl touched his chest and licked the sweat off her fingers like she just ate chicken, bro. That was crazy. And then the third one had to be with 1804. It had to be with Jack Boy because we was driving to Orlando for a show or something, and it was raining, and my car, like, I had a bad tire, and my car spinned like all the way, and bro, this shit was like a scary movie, you know what I'm saying? And we end up actually, you know, being good and stuff like that. But that was a very, like, damn, dog. And we still went to the show.
Damn.
Right. So those three moments, you know, I'll always remember. There's more moments, but those three, like, stand out in my mind type shit.
Man, that's what's up, man. You know, I know you guys been doing your thing for a long time, man. You know, breaking some, you know, really big artists, man.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, I know you guys got more to come too, man.
Right. I actually, me and my company, you know what I'm saying, we just did a joint venture deal with 300/Warner. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm in full effect with a major company like Warner, and 300 behind the 100K brand. You know, the label's called Remain Solid. So we're signing more artists. We have, you know, more budgets, deeper resources, and just giving more people opportunity. Like you mentioned earlier, you know, I have now I have the tools to just, you know, seek and find more artists and just in different lanes, pop, R&B, country, gospel. So, you know, just taking more chances, because now we got a parenting company, you know, in a partnership with 300 that allows us to do more, and that, you know, and they support the vision. So y'all stay definitely excited about that. You know, y'all stay tuned for these next, you know, upcoming months, years, and stuff like that.
Well, that's what it is, man. Well, man, I appreciate you, man.
Nah, for sure. Appreciate you.
You know, dude, I wish you success, man. I know you got a lot coming up, man.
Nah, for sure. Facts.
All right, bro. Thanks, man.
All right, bet.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.